This story starts with the BRICS. In the middle there, you have the president of Brazil. You know, she had a re-election last year, and from a story I put out a while back, Soros and the CIA are banking on Neves, who was a CIA puppet, on defeating Rousseff, but he didn't. Now, whether she rigged the election or not, who knows? She's extremely unpopular and corrupt and just a terrible politician in general, terrible person, but she won the election. So how do you think they're going to take that? Right? The CIA, we know what they do. The Western-backed elite, we know what they do. If somebody's in power they don't want, they try to get rid of them. Put on top of that, a story I put out a while ago on the drought affecting Sao Paulo and other areas of southern and eastern Brazil. And due to a lot of their power being generated from hydroelectric dams, without the water, there's a lot less electricity. So people are not only having water for 2 days a week only, but they're also only having power for 2, 3, 4 days a week. So it's just compounding the issue, and of course people are blaming the government for this. So Ms. Rousseff gave a speech the other day on national television, kind of like a State of the Union type Obama address. You know, like all the networks covered it, and she was on every television. And I can't find I haven't looked that hard, but I can't find a transcript in English of what she actually said. But you bet it's the usual propaganda BS that all these politicians spew. And the reaction to it, pretty much countrywide, was amazing. So I'll put a link just to the search term, and you can see people just kind of put their camera out the window. There's her on the television with the speech, you know, panned from the camera or from the television back to outside the window, and people are flashing their lights and, you know, beating pots and pans out the window, shouting obscenities. You know, if they're driving, they're honking their horns, yelling out their window, you know, impeach Rousseff, no more Dilma, you know, all this kind of stuff, like just basically like a general upswelling of anger. And I can't imagine that was planned. People just kind of, when they saw her on television, just had enough. Basically just had enough. Which then now brings me to this. So there is going to be a nationwide march this Sunday, March 15th. And there's going to be anti-government supporters that want her impeached and pro-government supporters. Which is to say nothing of the CIA Soros-influenced troublemakers that may or may not, but probably definitely will be in the streets causing their usual brand of chaos. And Brazil may seem like a world away to wherever you're listening to this, but they're the 7th largest economy in the world. They're currently in a huge recession. Like I mentioned, the water and the power issues. They have a big military. They have the most landmass and the most people in all of South America. And it's a huge piece to the BRICS puzzle as well as to the NWO puzzle. So it may honestly be the balance of power in the world. Like Russia and China and India on one side, the United States, Great Britain, the usual suspects on the other side, and Brazil is kind of like that. The balance, you know, which side it goes to could determine what happens in the future. So I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this protest March 15th and see what happens with her and this government. This does not look good.